Have you ever wondered what goes on inside the mind of an artist? Why are they so different? They see the world in a way most of us don't. They express emotions we struggle to put into words. But what actually makes artists tick? Are they wired differently? Is there a link between creativity and mental health? And what does science say about all this? Well, today we're diving deep into the psychology of artists, from their unique brains to their creative habits, and even the myths surrounding the phrase "the tortured artist." First things first, artists are in fact wired differently. Studies show that highly creative individuals, especially artists, have more connectivity between the left and right hemispheres of the brain. This means they're constantly linking logic with emotion, reality with imagination. A study by the Karolinska Institute found that creative people have lower levels of dopamine receptors in a region of the brain called the thalamus. This allows for more unfiltered information to flow through their minds, which may explain their out-of-the-box thinking. In short, their brains are less restricted by traditional patterns, allowing ideas to roam freely, collide unexpectedly, and form new, brilliant connections. This heightened flexibility makes them masters of perspective, seeing possibilities where others see limits, and transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary, leading them to fresh insights, bold innovations, and completely new ways of thinking. Now, is creativity something you're born with, or is it a skill you develop? The answer is a mix of both. Some people are naturally more inclined toward creativity due to genetics and personality traits like openness to experience and high sensitivity to emotions. But talent alone isn't enough. Practice, environment, and exposure to creative stimuli also play a huge role. For example, studies show that children who are encouraged to explore art, music, or writing at a young age are more likely to develop creative problem-solving skills as adults. So, if you've ever doubted your artistic potential, don't. Creativity is a muscle, you can train it. Now, do artists really have to suffer for their art? We've all heard the stereotype, the lonely, depressed genius pouring their pain into their work. And to be fair, history is full of troubled artists. But does this mean suffering is necessary for creativity? Not exactly. Research shows that while artists are more likely to experience mood disorders like depression or bipolar disorder, suffering itself doesn't make someone creative. Instead, creativity often becomes a coping mechanism. It helps people process trauma, express emotions, and make sense of the world. Takeaway: you don't have to be miserable to be a great artist. But if you ever feel overwhelmed, remember, great art can also come from joy, curiosity, and exploration. Now, have you ever stared at a blank page and thought, where do ideas even come from? Psychologists say that inspiration comes in waves. It's not just random magic. Here's how it works. First is the preparation phase. The brain gathers ideas, experiences, and emotions. Think of it like a mental Pinterest board. 2. Incubation phase. Your subconscious starts connecting the dots while you're not even aware of it. Ever had a great idea in the shower? That's why. 3. Illumination phase. This is the moment when scattered ideas suddenly click into place, forming a clear and exciting vision. What once felt like a puzzle with missing pieces now makes perfect sense, sparking a rush of creativity and inspiration. 4. Verification phase. Turning the idea into reality. This is where the real work happens. So next time you're stuck, don't panic, just let your brain do its thing. Artists literally see the world differently, both metaphorically and neurologically. Studies show that artists have enhanced visual perception. They notice details most people overlook. Subtle color changes, unique patterns, and even hidden emotions. Have you ever wondered why looking at art or creating something feels so satisfying? It's all thanks to dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. Making art activates the reward system in the brain, similar to eating chocolate or listening to your favorite song. Even just looking at beautiful art triggers the same pleasure centers as love and happiness. Now, even art therapy is used to help with anxiety, PTSD, and even chronic pain. Creativity is literally medicine for the brain. When you create art, your brain enters a state similar to meditation. Your breathing slows, your focus sharpens, and stress levels drop as your cortisol decreases. Research shows that just 45 minutes of making art can lower cortisol levels, regardless of skill level. So you don't need to be Van Gogh to reap the benefits, just picking up a pencil or brush is enough to start calming the mind. Ever been so deeply immersed in a creative project that time seemed to disappear? That's called flow state, and it's one of the most rewarding mental experiences a person can have. Flow happens when you're fully absorbed in a task, so engaged that the outside world fades away. It's associated with increased happiness, creativity, and even better problem-solving skills. Musicians, painters, and even athletes experience this same mental zone, a state of effortless focus and deep joy. It's no wonder that some people say creating art feels just as good as a great workout or an amazing meal. It taps into dopamine, your brain's reward system, making you feel accomplished, engaged, and even euphoric. Art provides a safe and expressive outlet for emotions, especially those that are hard to put into words. It allows us to externalize what we feel in ways that speech sometimes can't. Art and even colors can affect our mood. Have you ever noticed how certain colors seem to capture emotions perfectly, how some shades feel calming, while others feel intense and energizing? Blues and greens can create a sense of calm. Reds and oranges often evoke passion and energy. Darker tones can reflect introspection or sorrow. That's why art therapy is used to help people process trauma, anxiety, and even PTSD. Creating something, even if it's abstract, allows the subconscious mind to express emotions in a non-verbal way, helping people understand their own feelings more deeply. Looking at or creating art doesn't just boost mood, it can literally enhance cognitive function. Studies show that people who engage in creative activities retain memories better and experience slower cognitive decline as they age. This is why art programs are often used in Alzheimer's and dementia therapy, because creativity helps people reconnect with their memories and emotions in ways that words sometimes can't. Whether it's drawing, painting, sculpting, or just soaking in the beauty of a masterpiece, art is medicine for the brain. It heals, it soothes, and it connects us to something deeper than logic alone can explain. So, next time you feel overwhelmed, consider picking up a brush or visiting a gallery. Your brain will thank you for it. Want to train your brain to think more creatively? Try these. Doodle every day. Even if you can't draw, it sparks creativity. Change your environment. Go outside, visit a gallery, rearrange your room. Expose yourself to different art forms. Listen to new music, watch films, and try poetry. Take breaks. Creativity thrives when you let your mind wander. Keep a creativity journal. Write down random ideas, even the weird ones. Remember, creativity isn't just for artists, it's for everyone. And remember, creativity isn't about being perfect, it's about exploring, experimenting, and seeing the world in new ways. Even the most legendary artists started somewhere, often by making a mess before making a masterpiece. So don't be afraid to create, no matter what it looks like. And that, my friends, is a deep dive into the psychology of artists. Now tell me, do you consider yourself an artist? Or do you think creativity is something people are just born with? Let's chat in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more psychology deep dives. Thanks for watching. And next time you pick up a pen, a brush, or even just daydream about something fun or new, remember, that's creativity in action. Until next time, stay curious, stay creative.